Speaking of cool phrases, we can move on to the next one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Trash talk, the holy grail.
Talk.
So the backstory on this is, I think I had a video in our chat.
Yep, the video's up
Kevin
there.
Garnett talking trash, and it was this. It was this video, if y'all see it right there. Ryan Murphy calling somebody a dog. Y'all figure that out.
Of the female species.
Yeah, we got to keep it a little YouTube friendly. And then it was, I didn't find the one I wanted. The one I wanted to find was of Kevin Garnett, where they were like, yo, I heard you call this guy a BAN. And he was like, well, he was a BAN. And it's just like, he didn't like no apology, like, no, like, F that guy. So, trash talking sports, man, like, what do you think about that? Specifically in swimming.
Again, swimming is too soft. Swimming is like the chicken nuggets of sports, like just boneless, homogeneous, just microwaved. Put it in the freaking toaster oven for 3 minutes, and it feeds the kids a family of 4. Just a safe option. That's what swimming has really become, unfortunately. I remember when I was in high school, it was a sectionals in Nashville. And
that was perfect. Like boneless, spineless, thrown in the microwave, feeds a family of 4. That was immaculate. Continue.
Yeah. So I remember it was a sectionals, and I was in the top 8, and they like were trying to be cool, so they like marched us out, kind of like a big walkout with the music going. And as I was walking out, I had like my hoodie up. I swam for Lakeside Seahawks. I had the big Seahawk on the chest. I was walking out, and I had the hood up, and I started like shadow boxing. And after the meet, my dad pulled me aside, and he was like, yo, that upset a lot of people in the stands. They were like, what is he doing? He shouldn't be doing that. That's so classless. How dare he? Dude, like, are we serious? Shadow boxing by myself? Like, that's how soft we are. And I was so excited to see. I give a lot of credit to César Cielo. He really broke those walls down, honestly. My freshman year, he came to Kentucky SECs and swam a freaking 19-0 at SECs as a freshman. Hopped on that freaking lane line and just slapping the water, hitting his chest, flexing.
So he was the first one really doing that then, huh?
Right. He was really one of the first people doing it. And he was doing stuff that like we would do to each other in practice, but it was frowned upon to do at a meet. But he came in, he was an emotional dude. I mean, he used to be in tears sometimes. So like he really broke down that wall. Like, of course, people were upset when he would do it. Like, oh, this freaking guy, like, look at him going all over again. Oh, he's
keep him out the end zone. Keep him out the end zone, then.
Right? You don't want to see me celebrate? Beat me.
Yeah.
So, tip my hat to César Cielo for that. It's just and just trash talk is just seen as it's just. I don't know where I was going with this, but it needs to happen if we're going to be taken seriously. And the athletes are thinking it; they're thinking it behind the blocks. But why are you so scared to say it? You saw the interview with Chad Leclos saying, "Oh, I just wanted to make Michael Phelps proud." What?
Yeah, I saw that.
What?
Dude, I think that is one of the most missed opportunities by like when he was because I think he was shadow boxing too, right? And when Phelps was sitting down, like, oh, pouty.
Yep.
Like, bro, if that was me, I would have stood up, got right in his face. I wouldn't say nothing, just stood there and just like waited for him to back down. Yeah, like I know you in lane 5. Like I know you think you're coming. I'm like, do something now. Right. Like you think you're a tough guy when we in there playing patty cakes with the surface of the water. What you about on this land? Right. And like there's just so many, like I think swimming, we forget that especially at the pro level, you're an entertainer, right? And maybe this is just my part of just being, the ratchet in me, where I see something like that, and it's just like an opportunity to like, one, assert my dominance, but two, it's like that's a beautiful image. This guy's pissing me off. I stand up. Now what? You ain't that now you sweet, But the trash talk, dude, like, shout out to César Cielo. So, all right, here's the backstory for me, right? I didn't know anything about swimming while I was swimming. Like, I didn't watch the Olympics. I didn't keep up with, I forgot. I had an interview after I signed with Texas, and they were asking me about Texas, and I forgot Eddie's name in the interview. And I'm just like, the Olympic coach? Like, that's what I said. And, like, I remember Eddie introduced me to Ricky, and, we were walking through, like, the athletic hallway, right, in the football
Ricky
stadium.
Barron for you young ones.
Yeah. Big Rick. But Ricky,
he was actually in that. Ricky Barons was in that heat I was shadow boxing in, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, smoked me 100 fly. Anyway,
he walks up and he's like, has his foot in a cat. Like, I don't know anything. I have another story about Cal too. But so he walks up in a boot, and Eddie's like, "Oh, this is Ricky Barons." And Ricky had just I think it was 2008. So he just won a gold medal right on the relay. And I'm just like, yo, who's this clown in a walking boot? Like, how do you hurt yourself in swimming? Right? Like, that's what I'm thinking. So, like, the only person I knew on the team was Jimmy, because I was racing Jimmy all the time, and Neil Caskey. Shout out to those guys. And then when I was younger, like, Cal would always bring, like, their slower swimmers to, like, an Aggieland meet, sectional meet, right? And there was a point where I guess whatever assistant was coming down wanted to talk to me. And I didn't know anything about Cal. So I was just like, no, I'm good. Yeah. And at the time, like, Dewey Jagania is there. Mike Bottom is there. Anthony Irvin. I think he was still swimming. Yeah. So it's like, but I'm just over here like, no, I'm good. Like, I didn't know anything. But it's like the trash talk in the sport, like on the César Cielo thing, like how this all comes together is, I remember when I saw him like mount the lane line and just like turn up, I was like, oh, swimming's kind of live. Like, okay, I didn't know you could do stuff like that. And like when I won my 100 breast at state, I turned up, so I was like, I didn't know you were allowed to do this. So shout out to César Cielo. And this is kind of an interesting thing. People might disagree with me on this one. They're wrong. But when I got to UT, my entire sports career in swimming, right, I've been the fastest person or the most whatever at all time, right? So I'm also a hooper though. So I'm taking my hooper mentality to my practices, and nobody says anything to me because I'm like the guy. Like, they're not going to tell me not to do things. So I go through my whole swimming career basically treating practice and like cussing in practice, calling people out, talking shit, like the exact same way until I get to UT. I remember there was like a day where like we were talking trash about Auburn, and I said some obscene things and pushed off. And I got to the wall, and Alan Meyer, shout out to him. He's like, yo, you can't say that. And I was like, what do you mean? Because it's just normal. And then like over the course of the year and like just being at UT, people got a lot more comfortable, like Jackson and Mick Broom almost got into fisticuffs in the middle of practice one day, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there was a time where, like, that hooper culture took over Texas swimming for a little bit, or at least that's what I tell myself. But, yeah, man, like, I think the sport, it just gets so much more enjoyable when, like, you can talk trash, like, really let it out, and then go back to being boys the next day.
Yeah. I mean, we're all competitors. We all have that dog in us. We all want to win. And we're all, testosterone-laden young men, really just trying to be the best. I never let up on my teammates because I knew it made them better and it hyped me up. So I was the mouth on deck. And then I also remember Milorad Chavich when he was racing Phelps and he got out-touched in the 100 fly. He took that whole year going on a revenge tour. Oh, he was going to win at World Championships. And See, the problem with swimming is everybody wants to be the hero. Nobody wants to be the villain.
Yeah, you
And
got to be the villain.
Chavez embraced that villain aura and just ran with it and made his name off of it. And I fell in love with that dude. Like, I follow him on Instagram. I'm always, responding to his stuff. Like, shout out to Chavez. Like, he was another one I looked up to because he embraced being the villain and people hated him for it, but he was gathering attention, and that's where the sponsorships come in, and that's where, it's if all of you are the hero, none of you are the hero. I don't want to see any more heroes. I'm sick and tired of everybody being the freaking hero in swimming. And Lochte tried to embrace the villain thing for like a hot second when he had that. Remember the show? He had a show, What Would Brian Lochte Do? And they followed him around for like 2 episodes, and then he went partying one night, showed up to practice drunk the next morning, and Speedo gave him a call and was like, cut the show, or we ain't cutting no more checks. So it's the powers that be that really kill the vibe. Sport needs it.
Yeah. And just like on a little side note, me like becoming a Tennessee fan, like a part of it is because of this. Like, to me, the only people who talk trash in our sports are people from Tennessee who listen to the 3-6 Mafia, right? And black swimmers. Right. And the reason why I say that, right, is because, shout out to the Nashville Boys for Life. I don't know the non-Texas members, but that's Alan Meyer, Jackson Wilcox, and Hayes Johnson. But it was like the stuff that they had us listening to, like Lil White. You know who Lil White is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fight. It's a fight. Head buster, head bust. And it's just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, these white boys are alive. So it's like, those are the only people, and Jackson was on it. He would talk shit to you all day. I remember he stiff-armed this freshman in his face one time. And like, just, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, this guy gets it.
Dude, I used to trash talk. I used to trash talk to the coaches. I was bad.
There you go. But yeah, I think the Tennessee thing, one, obviously them being, looking like me makes me want to cheer for them, but there's also a hope that they're going to bring some more flavor to the sport. So shout out to University of Tennessee.
For sure.